We like to tell ourselves a comforting story about Canada, a story of freedom, of safety, of sanctuary. But history has a way of interrupting comfort. July of 1852, in a town celebrated as a beacon of abolition, violence erupted, not despite freedom, but alongside it. This is the story of the St. Catharines Race Riot. By the early 1850s, St. Catharines, Ontario had become a vital terminus on the Underground Railroad. Freedom seekers, men, women, and children escaping enslavement in the United States, arrived here with hope and fear in equal measure. They settled in an area near Welland Avenue and Geneva Street, a community known then as Colored Village. Here, Black residents built homes, schools, and churches, most notably Bethel Chapel, later known as Salem Chapel, British Methodist Episcopal Church. Harriet Tubman herself lived here between 1851 and 1858, guiding others to freedom and building a life rooted in dignity and faith. By 1852, St. Catharines had a population of about 6,000 people, and nearly 800 of them of African descent. It was a rare concentration of Black freedom in British North America, but freedom did not mean equality. In 1850, the United States passed the Fugitive Slave Act, making it legal to hunt escaped enslaved people, even in free states. The result was a surge northward. St. Catharines welcomed many, but not everyone was pleased. As Black settlement increased, so did resentment. Jobs, housing, visibility, old prejudices hardened under new pressures. In April 1852, abolitionists and allies formed the Refugees Slave Friends Society, including the town's mayor, William Hamilton Merritt, custom collector, John Clark, and newspaper editor, James Lamb. But support for freedom also sharpened opposition. That summer, Frederick Douglass spoke in St. Catharines. His presence electrified the town and exposed its fault lines. July 1852, Militia Training Day, a civic celebration. Black militiamen, members of the Colored Corps, matched alongside white companies. They had earned that right. But insults followed. Then a brick was thrown. What happened next spread faster than truth. Rumors raced through town that a white fireman had been killed by Black residents. It was not true, but it was enough. A mob descended on the Black settlement. The St. Catharines Journal reported on July 1, 1852. Among the partakers in the training exposition were colored companies. Insults were directed. And after a brick was thrown, a melee ensued. Whites descended upon the neighboring Black village and left it in ruins, leaving mangled people and damaged property. Homes were damaged. Some nearly destroyed. Families fled. Fear replaced refuge. The violence was not isolated. Earlier that year, Irish laborers had already attacked Black militiamen simply for matching. This riot was not spontaneous. It was cumulative. The story crossed borders. In the United States, Frederick Douglass's paper ran a headline on July 16, 1852, "Fight between Negroes and Whites." Canada's image as a racial refuge cracked under international scrutiny. The town could not ignore what happened. In March 1853, St. Catharines' town council voted to compensate Black residents for damages, a motion introduced by William Hamilton Merritt, Jr. Justice was incomplete, but acknowledgement mattered. Black life continued. So did resistance. 2 years later, in 1854, Black residents will organize stagecoach boycott, refusing to accept segregation in public transportation. The struggle did not end. It evolved. The riot of 1852 reminds us that freedom is not a destination. It is a demand. Black Canadians did not simply arrive in freedom. They defended it. They rebuilt it. They insisted on it. To remember the story is not to reopen old wounds, but to remind us of how far we have come.